Hi everybody, welcome to my video, Making Moves with Mike. I'm Mike. Today we're going to be discussing maintaining sobriety and journey to self-development. Now, in the last video, I know you guys were following along with me of what was happening after alcohol. So there's a lot that goes on whenever you eventually get rid of your addictions. And when you get to a place where you got to maintain it, that's kind of like the rough issue, you know? Stopping something is one thing, but maintaining it, it's a whole different ballgame. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into it today. And we're going to discuss some of the things that I've done that actually helped me out. And in the comments, please leave comments, let me know some of the things that you guys have done that has helped you out in maintaining your sobriety and what you've done to develop yourself as well. Now, for me, self-development, that was a really tough issue because you're talking about somebody that didn't believe in himself. I was a very negative person for many years. I had a lot of issues. I had a lot of mental issues as far as dealing with things that were going on in my life. The mistakes that I was making, I was a very selfish person, and I had to get to a place where I could become moldable. Ego is one of the worst things that we can hold on to, right? Pride. If you got somebody that's trying to help change you to become a better person, it's very easy to let pride get in the way of that and think to yourself, I'm not gonna let this person change me. They're not gonna tell me who to become and what I need to become. Well, sometimes, yes, I agree with you in that aspect. You have to be able to decipher what is good from what is not good. There are people out here that actually genuinely care to see you succeed, to see you become something better than what you've become. I had to learn that aspect of my life, you know, with the family that I currently have now, the fiance I have now, and the stepchildren I have now, and my son that actually has gotten to a place where he believes in me again. These are the people in my life that genuinely care about what happens to Michael. Now, having said that, don't get me wrong, Michael needs to care about what happens to Michael, because if I don't care about what happens to me, then everything around me folds. See what I'm saying? If you are taking the role of a father or you're taking the role of a husband and you're trying to go into a house and you're trying to lead, you have to be able to lead by example. Now, first of all, for me, I used to have a lot of issues with anger, and I used to lead a lot of my decisions based off of irrational decision making. You know, getting mad and then saying, oh, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna do this now. And theoretically, it never made any sense. At the end of the day, you got to take your emotions and whatever it is that you're going through, and you got to put that to the side, or at least take yourself out of the room long enough to calm down, to give yourself a rational thought process. Now, for me, you know, whenever I was trying to learn self-development, right? Like I said, I didn't love myself for many years. Well, I love myself now. I love the things that I've been through. Don't get me wrong. I'm not excited that I went through the things I went through. However, I'm very appreciative that I'm still here. Thank God. It's by the grace of God that I wake up every single morning and I get the chance to breathe every single morning. I also have the opportunity now to have a wonderful family. Like I said, I've even got my son back in the picture. I'm very, very, very blessed. You know, and you don't really realize what you have until you start losing things, of course. Well, for me, it was losing family, it was losing friends, it was losing relationships and a lot of things. And I used to always think to myself, what's wrong with everybody? Well, the problem was it wasn't everybody, it was myself. You know, when you have enough failed relationships, right, and everybody's saying the same thing, then you have to take in consideration that maybe you are the problem. And that's something that I had to take in consideration. I had to figure out for myself that I was the problem, that I was the common denominator in most of my failed relationships and friendships, for that matter. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've gotten to a place now where I'm extremely positive. I do love my life. I do love what I represent. I love what I'm becoming. And it's because I had to make changes in my life. You know, if you want something different, you've got to do something you've never done. And for me, I had to come to a sudden realization of saying, hey, I'm the problem. That's something I've never done. You know, having to admit that I was the issue. Okay, so once you address that issue, once you find out what it is about you that's causing the reactions in people that are reacting to you, then you have to make a conscious decision to change whatever it is in that aspect that caused that, you know. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, you know, everybody, you also got to be very, very mindful of who you let in your circle. You can let bad people in your circle that can cause you to tear down as well. You know, there's some people carry some real rough auras or spirits or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it, but there's low energy people that you don't need in your life. If you want to become a positive person, if you want to make changes in your life and become what you have never become before, you have to learn to be able to cut people loose, cut people off, Some people are not meant for you. Some people are not meant to be in your life. Some people are not meant for your journey. Some people are not even meant for the next steps in your life. You have to be able to get to a place where you can decipher that. You got to be able to get to a place where you know that. I think we all know deep down inside, our gut instinct tells us who's good and who's not. And you need to listen to that. You have instincts for a reason. You have a gut feeling for a reason. You have intuition for a reason. Now, once you remove the negative energies around your life, you know, people, place, and things, when you're trying to change things, I say change everything. I moved out of state. I don't know anybody up here. I love it. My life is great. And I just decided to do it. I removed myself from the people that were causing me the negative feelings. I removed myself from the place that was causing me negative feelings. I removed myself from the places that I used to go to that caused me negative feelings. For instance, like liquor stores and certain restaurants I won't go to based off of how they make me feel. Now, it took a long time, I'm not gonna lie, to be able to craft that, to figure that out. However, you know, I've finally gotten to a place where I've kind of figured those things out. Now, once you start developing yourself, and I do mean this as a mental standpoint, once you start figuring out the internal issues that's going on, whether or not, you know, something happened to you as a child, your adolescence, you lost a friend, family, divorce, you know, life's going to throw curveballs at you. There's going to be things in life that is going to push you to the limit. It's going to try you. That's going to make you or break you. There are those moments in life. How you handle those moments defines what you can become from those moments. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's out of your control, right? You have to understand in certain situations and things like that in life, what is and what is not in your control. If it's not in your control, let it go. Gotta learn to let it go. You cannot sit there and fester and build up on something that you cannot control. You can't do it. You're beating yourself up. It becomes a cycle. Next thing you know, your thought process will revert to what you're used to. And that's another thing. That's another key subject that I wanted to bring up to you guys today. The way you handle things and the way you think about things, when you consistently do that, you're setting your brain up in a way that that's how it reverts. So if you have a traumatic event in your life, right, death, something like that right there, it's going to trigger a fight response. Now, when you've gone through enough of those, then you get to a place where you subconsciously do that and you don't even know that you do that. Alcohol for me put me in a place of always feeling something bad was either happened, or were about to happen. And because of that, I still have a lot of struggles with anxiety, and I'm going on 3 years sober now, but I have a lot of issues with anxiety. I get in traffic, I have anxiety issues. Get around a crowd of people, anxiety, you know, and of course, these are things that I had to learn. These are things that I learned from other people, not just myself. So I don't want to take credit for saying that I've learned all this and become this great guy. No, I've learned from a lot of people that have had a lot of great experience to a much further extent than what I was experiencing and what I have experienced, you know, to bring me to the mental mind frame that I'm at today. So when I tell you, you know, there's a journey to your self-development, it's not easy, guys. It's not. You got to take and put your pride to the side. I still have pride issues. I'm not perfect, you know? I don't ever think I'm going to be perfect, but that's okay. And you have to allow that to be okay with yourself. You're not perfect. The mistakes that you made in your life, the things that have happened in your life, they happened. They're gone. Stop reliving those events. If you consistently relive a traumatic experience and blame yourself, you're convicting an innocent person, because the person you are today is not the person you were in the past. Therefore, you're convicting an innocent person. Let it go. It happened. Those things happen. What you do from that, though, is you learn how to take those moments in your life and constructively build that for whatever is in the future. Now, for me, I think one of my driving points in my life right now is, you know, I've said it in the last video, my son. My son is a very big driving point in my life. Now, you know, I have a family. So I have a whole bunch of people that look out for me. I'm the provider. I'm the one that has to make sure everybody's okay. You know, that's my job. That's what I signed up for. So in my mind, failure is not an option. You don't have time to fail. You got people that rely on you. You got people that need you. And it's a great way to look at things. It's a great way to think about things. For me, I like inspiring people. My job and my goal in my entire life is going to be motivation. It's going to be inspiring other people. I've dealt with loss of family members, divorces. I've dealt with so many things that's happened to me as a child that were traumatic experiences in my life. And I used to use that stuff as a crutch. Now, it is my testimony. Now I'm free. I'm free from the bondage that I gave myself, and I was the one that gave myself the bondage. Not my life, not my circumstances, and not the things that were going on. Michael. Michael was responsible for Michael's mishaps, his mistakes, and Michael was responsible for his depression and how he viewed the world. And you know why I was the one that was responsible? Because of how I dealt with it. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying that you should just pop up and be positive because bad things happen. Absolutely not. However, at some point in time, you have to take consideration and say to yourself, what can I control? And if I go ahead and go down this road, this very destructive road that's going to destruct everybody around me, is it going to fix the situation? Is it going to stop what happened? No, it's not. What you're going to do is you're going to consistently give yourself more problems than what originally occurred. So I would have to say for me, one of the first things you got to do is love yourself. How do you do that? What do you want? For me, it's weight loss. For me, it's getting in shape. I love my body when I'm in shape. You know, I got to a place where with alcohol, I was in hospitals. I can't tell you how many times over blood pressure issues, or my body going into shakes, or you know, me not being able to hold anything in my stomach. There was a lot of times, a lot of things I've been through. Thank God my body sustained the issues that were going through it. I'm very thankful for where I'm at. I'm very thankful for my body for surviving everything that I put through it. It's really a blessing to be where I'm at today, to be able to have the energy, to be able to have the options to go back into bodybuilding, you know, lift weights, do this, do that, get tan. It's very much a blessing to be in a position. I didn't see those things, you know, because one of the things that alcohol does is it consistently makes you circle. You stay in a repeated pattern of anxiety, depression, happy, you're mad, you're sad, and it just keeps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So when I tell you things like change the music you listen to, change the movies you watch, you have to remember something. There are certain trigger points you may not even know about. I know for me, there's certain songs I can't listen to because I remember where it puts me at. I remember the place I was at when the song started. I remember a movie that I watched, and I know how I associate with that movie based on how it makes me feel. So there's certain things I don't watch. There's certain things I don't listen to based off of how it used to make me feel. Not to mention, like I said, repeated pattern, you know? So that was one of the things I had to learn. Now, whenever I started maintaining my sobriety, it's not easy. Look, I live in North Carolina, right? In North Carolina, there's nothing but drinking. That's all there is to do for adults. I'm trying to myself figure out different things that I can do, like maybe rock climbing, you know, throwing an axe, archery, stuff like that. Me and my fiance, we talk about, you know, doing new things all the time. We just did an escape room just because it was something different. It didn't require being drunk. It didn't require being, you know, having a party and all that good stuff. So what I'm doing right now is I keep myself busy, guys. I'm either at work, I'm either working out. Yeah, I'll play the game every now and then or something like that, you know. But for the most part, I stay busy. And then whenever I get to a place where somebody's like, hey, you know, this Saturday we're going out drinking, you know, you want to go out with us? No, I don't want to go out with y'all. And it's not that I can't, because I can easily go out now and people can drink, and I'm okay with not drinking. It's not an issue at this point now, but what's the point in me being there? I don't see the point in me being there. I really don't. Me personally, we can go fishing. I love fishing. We can go hiking. We can go camping. We can go do other things that is enjoyable to me, you know. So that's kind of like not my thing anymore. And it's really cool because I have really good friends. And this is another thing I want to tell you guys too. Surround yourself with positive people. You know, keep people in your corner that's going to back you up, that's going to be there for you. Don't keep people that have seen you struggle and then they want to try to give you something to keep you struggling. Don't do that. That's not good. They're no good for you. Keep people in your circle that are like, you know what? Hey, Mike, let's go out, man. Let's go do something. I know you don't like to drink, so why don't we go to here? Why don't we go over to here? You know, or something like that. And those are the kind of people that I have in my life, you know, and I'm very grateful for the individuals I have in my life. You got to be careful of the circle you're around. And I'm not talking about just friends. You got to be careful of the people that you have in your life, even as far as your family members. Watch people. Look at the people that are cheering in a crowd when you succeed. Look at the people who are quiet. when you're succeeding. Look at the people who are there whenever you have everything, and look at the people who are there when you don't have anything. Pay attention to that. Life and people will teach you everything you need to know if you stay quiet. Watch people. Don't listen to what people say. The tongue is a very dangerous thing. So when you invite people into your life, when you invite people into your circle to experience what you're experiencing, you have to be mindful of the energy that surrounds you. You see what I'm saying? For instance, when I started drinking, I was a very negative mindset person. I was the type of person that believed, if something good was going on, something bad was bound to happen. I was that guy. I was. And you know what happened? Something bad every single time that I had that thought process. You know how many years it took me into getting out of that mind frame of thinking something was going to happen and changing it from that to I deserve to be happy. I deserve the positive things that are coming to me. I deserve the cash flow, the people, the love, the excitement, the journey. It takes a lot to do that. You have to mentally break down to rebuild yourself. You have to. You have to get to a place where you build yourself mentally. And as you're doing such, I'm telling you, as a friend, as a colleague, as a brother, as whatever you want to call me, I'm telling you now, you got to be mindful of the people that you have around you. You got to be mindful of the vibrations that you allow yourself to be in. Now, as I'm maintaining my sobriety, one of the things that I do is I stay around positive people. I stay around people that make me, that feed me. I stay around people that are like, if I make it to the top, if next year I'm making $800,000 a year, they're still going to be in my corner. They're not going to be jealous. They're not going to be upset. They're going to be a part of it. That's the kind of people I'm talking. I'm talking about the kind of people that if you're at the hospital, you can call them and they're there. Those type. One of the things that I had to, also bring to other people's attention as I'm starting to become more aware of myself is, I've had people that they have dealt with so much negativity that they keep people in their lives because they want to fix them. You have good-hearted people with apathy that really will hold on to people that are broken because they want to help fix them because they're good-hearted people. You can't do that. If you sit there and hold on to something that doesn't want to be fixed, you're going to end up breaking yourself. And that's one of the things that I've noticed. And I was that person as well. I used to think to myself, wow, okay, I'm going to help out all these people. This person right here doesn't have a job. He's got a drug addiction problem. Wake up next morning, my PlayStation's gone. It's in a pawn shop somewhere. I've been through those events. I'm sure you guys have been through some of those type of things. You got to, like I said, whenever it comes down to helping people, you got to help people that are only willing to help themselves. And so, you don't want to lose that. However, having said that, I don't want you guys, if you are coming out of alcoholism, don't jump on the bandwagon to go help out as many people as you can. Don't jump out there and try to see if you can save people. I'm telling you this from experience. Save yourself first. If you're broken on the inside, what do you have to offer everybody else around you? Me, I thought to myself, I was the most selfless individual. I was all about helping people. I got this. I'm going to do this for you. I got this for you. And the whole while, I was the most selfish individual because I didn't think to help myself first. And what ended up happening was I started causing problems, residual issues between me and those individual people and not even realizing I was doing it. I was subconsciously doing that, Your brain is so powerful and so wonderful that you have to take in consideration that the moves that you make, your brain already calculates the moves it's gonna make based off the moves it made before. So you gotta be smarter than your own thought process. It's not always easy. It's not always easy to look in the mirror and say to yourself, hey, you know what? You look good today. Hey, you know what? I like what you're doing. You're smart, but you gotta do that. You got to. Otherwise, what you're gonna wind up doing is you're gonna wind up repeating the same pattern. See, for many years, I repeated the same pattern over and over and over. For many years, I kept falling. And the reason why I kept falling was because I didn't know any different. I kept wanting a different life, but I kept doing the same thing over and over. And what is it they say? That insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? Yeah, well, it doesn't. It doesn't. The result never changes. What you do is what you produce. What you produce is a reflection of what you do. At the end of the day, like I said before, life, it doesn't lie to you. What you want to see and what you want to feel, what you know is right or what you know is wrong, it's already written. It's already there. You already know it. You already feel it. You know, just pay attention to it. I just figured I'd go ahead and reach out to you guys today, man, and try to, bring to your attention some of the things and some of the issues that we all go through. Like I said, put in the comments how you feel. What's your thought process behind the video? What are some of the things that you've done? What are some of the things that you've learned? Get out of your own way. And I got some more videos coming up, so I really can't wait to reach out to you guys. I'm super excited right now. But anyhow, until next time, bye.